Okay, so this is Team Eagle Zoom Part 2, one after the start of the previous one, and my bad, but I will edit this, this component and add it to the back end of the previous one so that we can hear from Janet and Garth, Blue, and Chris on what were their takeaways. And you two and I were chatting a little bit, Janet and Garth, so do you want to repeat just briefly what you said before everyone else joined us? Garth, you were saying?
Yes, I was saying that the highlight for me was the introduction of the Omega blend, and how well I feel it's going to complement the other products. And it's so unique, and I'm looking forward to seeing the research on it they're going to be doing. But the whole idea of having a vegan Omega source is very unique and very, very powerful, and I think to me that's huge. It's going to be a big surge in the business. From the, and the takeaway I got, Mick, was just that whole commitment to actually benefit, work with the business and benefit people in their lives with health. That opportunity, these conferences are always great that way. You get this realization and you see the real life experiences of people where they've been able to help and do well for their themselves as well as for others.
You're absolutely right, Garth. That's the recurring theme, and it will always be the recurring theme, that this is a business where we can make good money, but we only make good money when we make a difference in other people's lives.
Yeah.
Well said,
yeah.
Garth. Dan.
My let me see, the aha moment was, yes, the Omegas, because I love the addition of the orange. It's a real rainbow of colors. That fantastic Manfred Lamprecht DVD clip, that little YouTube clip, and I love the fact that we're going to be doing more of those with the research, going back to the research because it's very important, but doing it in a way that it's more accessible, more understandable. I think that's going to be a real big deal. And then I was saying that I was blown away by the NMD, particularly the Aussie NMD speeches. All of those males and females were so real. They were so vulnerable and open. They'd all worked themselves to the bone. They'd helped everybody that they possibly could. And that's my takeaway, is that word, everyone, everybody. Never assume, offer it because you're offering hope. You're offering hope of health and a business and a lifestyle. So particularly the Aussie NMDs, and that everyone, make sure that you talk to everyone. Because I am inclined to assume and inclined not to drip back on people that I've dripped on before. So yeah, that's me.
Well said, Gianna. This is a business for everyone. It's also a business where we can pick and choose. There are people I won't talk to because I don't want to work with them.
Right.
The of it is I can't think of a single person on our team who I don't love to work with and play with, even more importantly.
And it was interesting because that was said a couple of times. I love these people more than I did my previous workmates.
Yeah.
It was said a couple of times. It was very interesting.
Yeah. You go finish your homework, please.
I'm going to come to Chris last because Blue is on Chris's team, and I'd love to let Blue give us her takeaways and highlights and commitments. But Blue, I've got to say, as you're unmuting yourself, we're so impressed with you because you moved your family to Flagstaff, Arizona, literally, 3 days before conference, and you were there. You weren't just there physically, you were there mentally, emotionally, spiritually as well.
I was standing there.
I'm going to mute you, Elizabeth. Okay, Blue, tell us whatever you want to tell us. And by the way, thanks for having that wonderful friend of yours over on Saturday night, Razul and Heather, because they were awesome. I can't hear you. You're not muted, but I can't hear you. Interesting. Your mic must be turned down. Well, what? No, we can't hear you. So while you're trying to sort that out, Chris,
yeah,
we can see you, but we can definitely hear you. Would you like to give us your highlights and takeaways?
sure. I'm not going to say one of them because I think that Blue will say this one. I'll leave that for her. There was a couple of them. Like Janet said, the Aussie NMDs. I loved one of them. Anthony, I think his name is. He said, "When in doubt, take action." I loved the word we keep using is exhausterated because he had that word. He said, "You're exhausted, but you're exhilarated." So his word was exhausterated. So we've been saying that like all weekend. We are exhausterated. That's a great word. Yes, that's a great word. I love it. One of the other ones talked about habit and getting into a habit and doing your DMO, but he was kind of saying more so about just increasing and getting into your habit every day. Jay Martin, he had a couple of good ones that let's get better today. Loved it. I really like that. Let's get better today. And long-term vision, but short-term goals. The little things matter, and that's what don't like. And even Kurt kind of talked about that with the big elephant. Don't go for the big elephants. Go for the small game. And don't shoot for such big things, but just keep working at those little things, and it builds and it grows with just building with the little things. What was another one? I'm looking at my notes really quick here. Let's see here. I had one more thing I was going to say. I can't find that one, but I'm going to leave the other one, the big nugget one, I guess, for, like I said, for Blue. Hopefully she'll be able to get on here.
Yeah,
but,
not.
Aside from whatever was said and all the different things that we got to see at conference and in the conference hall, for me, the bonding and the connecting of just our individual team in that house was profound. Was totally, I think, from now on, we're probably always going to get a house because it was unbelievable to be able to connect like that and to be in that. I kind of feel bad that we didn't really connect and get together with that much of our sidelines on Team Eagles, but on the other hand, focusing on our team and helping our team and building it and inspiring it and making it a unbelievable experience for them is more important for us in building our business. So that was like a big, huge thing too, was just the whole environment in our house.
Well, it was special for you to have such a team there, Chris. And Blue, I don't know if we can hear you. Can you try and say something? I know you're having technical difficulties, but no, not coming through.
Our internet setup.
Flagstaff internet. So, Chris, why don't you share with us what Blue wanted to share?
Blue, nod your head if I'm right, but I'm sure you're going to say one of your big takeaways was that Brene Brown is going to be working with us, and she had even spoke a little bit on Lost today about wanting, like, our desires to be NMD, and that would give her the flexibility to be able to even do more coaching programs and different things like that. So, I think it's just, we all, I think, really caught a big vision. Like I said, being in the house together and the connections we all made and the inspiration and everything. And then to add on the whole idea of a professional development program and a personal development program. That's up Blue's alley. and to have Brene Brown be a part of that, I think it's huge for all of us. But I know that's up, that's really up Blue's alley.
Yeah, so for those who don't know Russ, Blue is a professional coach and a very experienced and successful coach in her own right. And so it means a lot to know how highly Blue thinks of Brene Brown, as do many, many other people. When John Blair did a superb job of building the tension, the excitement, he put up a list, and it's one of the photographs in all those almost 100 pictures. I sent you a link to my album with a ton of pictures in, but that slide is in there, and he listed all of the criteria that he and Karen Jones had picked for the person that they wanted to be the third-party outside expert to partner with. And then when he announced the name, the hall erupted in excitement. And honestly, Jenny and I had never heard of Brene Brown before we were given a little tip by a certain person a few weeks ago, that being John Blair himself. We had lunch with John and Chris, and he said, okay. So, and of course, having done some research, having watched her TED Talks and others, and being 2/3 of the way through one of her books, Daring Greatly, she is extraordinary. Extraordinary. I'm 2/3 of the way through, but I've got to go back because it's one of those books where I like to highlight significant parts, and I didn't even highlight a single thing because by the time I got to page 3, I said, wait, I'll be highlighting every single word, which doesn't help too much. So that is exciting. It's a little frustrating for some that the program is limited to just those in the Tier 1 program right now, but be patient. We will all be benefiting from it in one way or another in due course. So Blue, what are you saying here? Doubt takes you out of action, but action takes you out of doubt. That was Anthony, the Aussie, yeah? The addition of personal growth in JP assured me I'm in the right place and I'm all in. Oh, Blue, you were all in. That's so good to hear. I've been feeling called to lead more groups, and it hit me in Anaheim that I was surrounded by the group I'm to serve. Yes, exactly. During the announcement, as he listed the qualities, I said to Amanda, that sounds like Brene Brown. No way they got her, though. Yeah, no way. And doesn't it say such a lot about our company, the management, and our culture?
Yeah.
Because I will tell you this, John said, it must have taken 15 attempts to break through to even be able to speak to Brene herself. And then it took another half a dozen or more to be able to go and meet with her. But as has been the case in so many other situations where we've been trying to partner with some other outside third-party person or company, only when they see truly who we are, then they go, oh, well, in that case, I'm all in, to use your words, Blue. And for Brene Brown to be the latest of those, I wish everybody could get it. look at Blue, yay. All right.
Mick, just one comment there, talking about exactly that. It just speaks again for me to the caliber of Juice Plus Company, the CEO, VPs, the caliber of Manfred Lamprecht and Brene Brown having anything to do with us. Our caliber has to be as high. So again, my belief in the company is just out the roof after this conference.
Yeah, thanks for reminding us, because Manfred Lamprecht is another in a different field. But yes, I mean, when Sean Hopkins was interviewing him, he's another totally unlikely researcher whose name is right at the top of the list of researchers in sports and exercise physiology. Extraordinary that not only would he do that research for us or with us, but that then he would take on the job of director of clinical research for the company.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Extraordinary.
Huge.
Yeah.
Okay, Blue, thank you for typing away for us. Thank you for sharing in spite of technical difficulties. We're going to have to get you some more powerful internet because we do want to hear from you in future. But for now, Garth and Janet, thanks for joining us on your way home from your dance class. Chris, thanks for joining us. I'm glad that this later version of the Zoom worked for you.
I was so excited.
Angela was on our previous Zoom, so Angela, you can't get enough of a good thing, can you? Okay, Angela's not speaking, but good to see Angela. And Elizabeth Chesborough, good to see you on as well. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us. And again, I sincerely apologize for messing up the time. I will try not to do that again. I can't promise not to because I'm fallible and vulnerable.
Well, I'm glad you did.
I know, it went well for those of us who are enjoying this. So thanks, everybody. Have a great Juice Plus week, and we'll talk to you again very